Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee. Today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Queen of Stones and the Bear. And meditating on this card, the one thing that came out was the thought of hibernation. It's springtime now, and the bears are going to start coming out a little bit from their hibernation, looking for food, with the cubs. And, they're going to be out and about, all right? But, you have to think back to the fall before the bears went into that hibernation. What did they do? They hunted fiercely for, salmon and berries and, any type of meat that they could get. So when fall came around, they had enough sustenance to hibernate, during that, 4 or 5, 6 month, time period. And, when springtime comes around, they're going to be very hungry. They're going to be looking for food. And, they might come out with that, there might still be some snow on the ground, and, trying to find that food is going to be tough. And, if you think about how that applies to your life, we go into a hibernating stance, during the wintertime as it is. Those of us that live in the north, we go inside. All right. We always make sure that we've got enough food to eat and things of that nature. But, we go inside and we hibernate from everybody else. Yes, we got our phones and we got our computers and, we can FaceTime and do all sorts of things to stay connected. But we get away from that aspect of having that social interaction. All right, and we hibernate. We go to sleep on it. Okay, and then when springtime comes along, we get back out there. We start walking around. We start meeting our neighbors, cleaning up the grass, things of that nature. And, we come out of that hibernation mode. Okay, and, we as humans are not meant to hibernate. We as humans are meant to interact with each other. COVID hasn't helped that. All right, and most people that are older than me, they've got an opportunity. They go south for the winter. And, look for their warmer climates, just for the simple fact that they don't have to hibernate during the winter months. They could be in a park that's 55 or older, still have that social activity, still take on the aspects of that Queen of Stones, that bear. Okay, and what I mean by that is, they're able to nurture, okay, their energy, with friends they haven't seen in 6 months, because everybody goes north for the summer, right? But when they come back down here, it's like family again. Everybody's coming back together. So, as humans, if we can interact and not hibernate, stuck within that cold atmosphere, it lifts up our spirits. It lifts up our, enthusiasm, our confidence, our self-esteem, because you're hanging around people that are giving you that loving energy, in a warmer climate. And I'm not to say that, you can't have that same aspect in the northern climate, but you can't be outside. You can't enjoy the good weather, all right, because it's cold out. Now that spring's breaking, people are probably out there and grilling and, enjoying that warmer weather, things of that nature. And that's where we're coming out of that hibernation. We're getting into that spring cleaning mode. So, that's what I meditated on, this morning when I was out doing my run and thinking about this card. So, the queens are all about, ruling the castle and nurturing. This one's about, ruling the finances, ruling the materialism, ruling the security, okay, the stability. And, she's all about, this bear is all about nurturing it to make sure more is coming into, her realm, into your realm as you're walking this path right now. And, materialism and, stability and security can be all types of different fashions. It doesn't have to be, financial. It could be emotional stability, right? It could be physical security, all right? And knowing that you're strong enough to do a task. The bears are nice protectors too. So, here you are on your path. After you've dipped into that pool and you're looking at your resources and the challenge that it's out there, you want to be fulfilled, okay? You just got done talking with the knight and the horse, or the fox and the horse, and the wren giving you, asking you some questions to think about. And, you're in this transition phase, and you came home, and there's a lot of security at home with that 10 of stones. The 9 of stones popped up late after that, and you started thinking about all the traditions that you've had in your home. Okay? And then the archer comes along and says, you know what? Focus on your goals. Focus on your ambitions. Steady your breathing. All right? And understand, where it is you want to go. And then yesterday was that ace of arrows, that breath of life. Asking you to, start a new quest. A quest of, breathing new life into a project. Okay? Or a relationship. Whatever it is you want to do. All right? Maybe it's, breathing life into that quest that you're on, that spiritual quest. And then this Queen of Bears comes along and says, you know what? I'm going to protect you. You're going to feel protected. I'm not going to walk side by side with you. All right. But you will sense me in the forest while you're walking your path. I'll protect you from, the things that are going to distract you along the way. All right. And at the same time, you might find a fish in front of you. That's from me. Okay, that's the richness that I can provide in your life. That's the plenty when you need it for nourishment. Okay. If this is a person in your life as you're walking a path, whether it's a coworker, a significant other, boss, social friend, whatever it is, this is going to be somebody who's going to be very practical in their thinking. They might even be a little thrifty, all right? I heard a concept earlier today about washing a floor. And, somebody was using those Swiffer towels. And somebody said, I don't even buy those anymore. What I do is I get an old rag and I plug a rag in there with soap and water and I use that. And I was like thinking, how thrifty is that person by thinking about that? And, how easy it is for them to still, clean their floor, with soap and water on the rag versus, spending whatever it is that costs for, the wet Swiffer thing. All right. If this is a person, it's somebody that's, going to be very loyal. They're going to be very, and this queen is going to be very frank with you. She's going to come out with some questions to make you think. All right. She also likes tradition, or, this person is going to like traditional aspects, and that falls into line with that 9 of Stones tradition. Okay, and this Queen of Stones could also become, maybe she might be a little bit of a hoarder. And if you think about, the bear, they might have some hoarding stuff in the cave. Maybe there's some leftover berries or nuts or something like that they didn't eat when they fell asleep in the fall. All right, now if this is an aspect of somebody's traits, it could be somebody that's managing things wisely. All right. Let's say you're looking, they're working on a project, all right, and they're very timely in how they're doing stuff. They're very resourceful in how they're using the resources, okay? And they're going to want to make things better. They're going to give you some ideas for you to go out there and, do something different, okay, and make it better for whatever that project is, or maybe it's a relationship or, an engagement with a social party, okay? Now, if this is an event that you're going to, this could be something that's very expansive. Maybe, a whole bunch of people are going to go see a concert or something like that. Okay, that would be that Queen of Stones. The event would be like that Queen of Stones where there's a lot of security and stability. It could be, hey, let's go on a picnic. That's, putting family first. That would be an event where that Queen of Stones is sitting there now. With the queen's rule in the castle, she might come out and, tell all the other women, look we're going to have a bazaar. We're going to have a fair. All right. And I'll talk to the king and, make sure everything's funded. But, everybody, clean up your booths, clean up your front of your houses. And, let's have a bazaar going on where you can sell your wares. So everybody, can, make some money. That's sort of an event, that's going on with this Queen of Stones. Now, with the court cards, they like to ask questions. What needs to be preserved is the first one. And, looking at the cards, I'll start, from a week ago. So the 6 of Stones, fell off. Okay, what needs to be preserved in the challenges that are out there? Do you preserve those jealousies? Do you preserve those rivalries? Or do you look at it and say, you know what? I'm not going to let so-and-so get the best of me. Okay, I'm going to continue moving forward. They've given me a challenge, all right, and I'm going to take it. You know, what was that thought process as you were transitioning with that Six of Arrows? You know, what needed to be preserved there? You know, maybe it was, you know what? In order for me to be fulfilled, I need to preserve that feeling of being fulfilled, of being happy, of knowing what I want. You went home. What were you preserving there? That sense of, you know, security, stability, you know, completionist, being complete, being at home, right? You know, there's 4 stones out here too. So, you know, this is all about that security and stability. 9 of stones, the traditional values. What do you need to preserve? What were some of the traditions that maybe your mom or dad or uncle or aunt is trying to let you know on what to preserve for those traditions? A tradition that can, you know, help heal you. As you set your mark out there and you steadied your breathing and you focus on that target, you know, maybe something that you need to preserve is, you know what? I need to preserve some arrows. I need to preserve, you know, instead of having 8 goals, I just need to have 1. I can preserve those other ones, you know, by priority. What makes sense? And then yesterday, that Ace of Arrows, that breath of life. What do you need to preserve there? You know, still breathe in. Still breathe out. You know, let your spirit talk to you. Let your soul talk to you. You know, what's that small step that you can take to help preserve, you know, the destiny and, you know, the fate that's on your quest, that you're out there? And then the other question is that the bear asks is, where can you make space? Where can you make space to make that breath of life happen? Where can you make space to, you know, bring in a new idea, right? Where can you make space with the Archer, that life lessons card, all right, of setting those goals? Where can you make space? Maybe it's in your house. Maybe there's a traditional trinket that gets passed from, you know, granddaughter to mother to daughter. You know, how do you preserve that? How do you make space for family pictures that are up there, especially in a home? You know, do you have to clean something out, you know, to put that up there? Do you need to declutter your house so you can have more, you know, more opportunity to, you know, to put mementos like that? You know, where do you need to make space in that Six of Arrows in that transition? How do you make space, you know, within your own thought process? All right. Maybe it's a priority system. And then, you know, finally, where do you make space with those challenges, with those rivalries, with that jealousy? You know, do you even give it space? You say, you know what, that's a good challenge. I'm just going to continue moving on. I'm going to let that Queen of Bows protect me, or Queen of Stones protect me out there, you know? So, you know, as you're walking on your path, just realize that that Queen's with you. You'll feel her presence. You know, she may come up to you, you know, during the evening on that campfire and just, you know, lay off a little bit off that fire. And you'll be able to sense her. You'll be able to feel her. All right? Just know that you're protected. Know that she's out there nurturing you to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest in your dreams, you know, materialism or security or stability. So that's today's message of the day, the tarot card of the day with the Queen of Stones, the bear. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. And this is D for the Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Stay safe, everybody.